Alright, so we're live here with the ROX Mods, the closing feature of Supercar Saturday. Let me get it up. I don't know why it says it's been open 37 minutes ago. It's been a hot minute since the Formula Micro feature. Now, last night was a hell of a feature. We got quite a few cars lined up today. We're going to have a 5-minute long qualifying session. Watch the lights. If someone doesn't go, you can pass them, but please just go at a pacing pace. Stay behind the 27 car. Yellow flag is out. We'll have a little bit of lag as we get going. That's normal. These cars tend to be a little bit less laggy as we clear out through, I hope. Wasn't that bad with the ROX Mods on the oval, and it looks like it does clear out as we ran through. Alright. Make our way up into the hairpin. There's Nico, a guy that runs the place. G7 Jake running an LFA engine. We're gonna make our way down the hairpin, down the hill now. Watch the lights. There's one right there. The green flag's out on the racetrack. Five minutes starting now. This is your qualifying session. We're going to clear the boards. Eris is going to go around. She is too hard on the throttle and will spin herself out. You want to be very careful there. Not too aggressive or else you'll get into that ugly situation there she's got herself into. Jake is going to lose it. Pack lead going to Nico now. Mind you, we have pack lead rules as how this works. I'm going to try to get a thumbnail. Eris is not moving. Nico out side by side with Guillermo, but Guillermo's going to make the pass through the front straight. Nico Otts goes wide and into the barriers on the outside. So does Jake. Again, you don't want to over push yourself here. These cars are tricky. They're technical. It's a race of survival. It highly benefits those that have the patience to practice, as most of the people that have been struggling are those that showed up last second. These ROX Mods are quite the handful to operate. That's the 45A making their way on with the purple sector 2. They go top of the board, 46.943, the fastest we've seen so far on the road course today. Now up Faux Rouge in a very fast sector 1 for Guillermo FX2. His teammate's going to go off the track for a second there. They spun themselves out. Mind you, there's a corner cut on the outside of turn 4, as well as a sausage curb. Not really any advantage to really going onto it. I don't know if the 10th is really worth the risk of crashing. We're already almost halfway done with this qualifying session, as I believe... Oh, Nico going around through the hairpin. Turns way too early. So, track loans with these cars, it benefits the patient, benefits the cautious. Guillermo FX2 at the pack lead. Guillermo FX2 through the carousel. Go on second on the board. Twin Turbo V sits in third, but Twin is cooking up a hot lap here. Gary makes his turn down through into sector 2, sector 3 now. It's not a bad lap. Out the chicane, and we got about just a bit under 2 minutes left in this session for our leader, Guillermo FX2. Not going to go any faster. Neither is Twin. Twin had a great shot for a bit there, though he's starting to fall back some. 2-7 Jake, meanwhile, currently the 4th place starting position, bikes it off the chicane in that LFA powered machine. Oh, here he goes around. Now, mind you, there is a way to correct these things if you get loose. You just gotta press the parking brake or let out the throttle, and it'll be pretty easy to save it. And you also gotta be patient on the times you get on the throttle, so... Again, the cars are a handful to operate. And... GearMFX2 down the front stretch. He'll go faster. 46.858. With less than a minute on the clock, but I believe we'll have enough time to go another lap. Once we're done, we'll do a cooldown lap and line up on the grid, but we're going to line up on the side of it at a 45-degree angle. I'll help you guys line up. GearMFX2 closing up to lap Arisnetta and the Pepsi machine. Makes the move, and with 20 seconds to spare, he's making his way across the front stretch. White flag. One more to go once you guys across the start finish line. Aris goes off the track again. It doesn't hurt to let off on that turn sometimes, or at least not to overturn. That's something I've seen. You would have learned that if you practiced. GearMFX2 down into the hairpin one more time on his final lap in this qualifying session. Now into the chicane. Gets out of it. And checkers are out for GearMFX2. That's going to close our qualifying session. Please make a cooldown lap. And line up on the grid. So cooldown lap, line up on the grid. Cooldown lap, line up on the grid, please. We are lining up on the grid, not the pit lane. So. Once we are done, just make one more round slowly. Do not pass any cars that are trying to make it through, so twin here. Speed at R1, you're done. Snap 5 on pulls it in, Nicolot's going through. Our current grid, there's Steve Waters making our way through. 2-7 Jake will be in 7th place, fittingly, to his name. We're going to be lined up on the front stretch. Line up about on the outside of the curb. So on the white line, you'll be lining up at a 45-degree angle. Again, lining up on the front stretch, not the pit lane. Head to the front stretch. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. Order is as follows. GearMFX2. I need your rear right. I need your rear right on the white line. Just go forwards to rear right on the white line. Second place is going to be Gohan in the 12 car. Line up like GearMaz. Try not to be inside of anyone else. Twin, if you can make a little bit of an adjustment to the left. Once you guys are parked, please turn your engines off and hop out of your car. Nico, let's follow that trend, please. Try to fit yourself up. 6th place is going to, or 2-7J is going to move up. East has pulled it in. Eris, if you can adjust yourself a little bit more to the left. Behind Jake is Jason. Behind Jason is Eagle. The sooner we can line up, the better. Then after Jason is Eagle. And then Steve Waters. Just try to not be inside of anyone else, please. Just line up like everyone else is. So, Jason over to here. Back it up. Okay. Order is good. Please hop out of your car, turn your engines off. Reason to do the hop out is to make sure that everyone is not AFK when we get in. Only reason why. Alright. And you can see the sun is starting to set. This race will become a late evening, early night race by the time it's wrapping up. We'll be playing the American Anthem. We'll also be playing the anthem of the victorious driver, whoever it may be, once the race concludes. Cut limit for today is going to be 15 cuts. And if you get 15 cuts, you get a 5-second penalty post-race. As long as you're not crashing, you're not going to get cuts. What, do you want to be 20? That's the most I'm going to do. It's 20. Some people's cuts to -2. We're going to be clearing the extra cars. Once we get all the extra cars deleted, we will play the national anthem. We'll have a 20 cut limit, which should be more than lenient as long as you guys are in control of your cars. If you get more than that, you'll have to serve a 5-second penalty post-race. Might not really affect positions. These races tend to get spread out when there's not cautions, but there is one that can mess you up. So be very careful. Also be careful about cutting the final turn. If anyone's caught cutting the last turn or the chicane, you'll get yourself in a lot of trouble. So don't be the guy that gets into that situation. We're going to start clearing out cars. I'll also be checking the racetrack to make sure there's no cars on the racing surface. If there is any, then they're going to be removed. I don't believe anyone is on track. I'm pretty sure everyone is already lined up. So I'm just going to clear the cars. Almost done. And check the track. Once this is done, once we get going, this race is going to go by pretty quickly. It's 10 laps shorter than it has been historically, with hopes to have more people finishing. And that is a cleared up track, so we will reset the board once we're all familiarized with our positions. That being said, please stand by your cars, go on and gear them so we can be ready once it's time. So we're going to be playing the national anthem. Alright, drivers, start your engines, head into them. Let's see if everyone's oriented correctly. This is a 30-lap race. East, do you want to be a pace car driver, or do you want to just help host? What's your plans? You should be unmuted, by the way. Alright. Just line up there on the front stretch. drive at a moderately quick pace, as fast as you're comfortable with, without crashing. It's right here. If you spin, so yeah. It's gonna be 2 pace laps.
Give me a mile an hour to follow.
Just go through the track quickly. Like your car driving fast is pace speed pretty much. So. Alright, just gonna wait for. Alright, are you gonna head over? Alright. We needs to head over. I think everyone is to their car, so prepare yourselves. We're just gonna wait on East Oriented himself. Remember to go when the car ahead of you goes, not before, so we can make sure that everyone is pacing evenly. Make sure you have a little bit of space. It's gonna be a little bit laggy once we start up. Our positions are as follows. Speedits R1, Steve Waters, Eagle Man, Jason T7 Jake, Eris Netta, 95 is Nikolaus, 32. First on the podium is Twin Turbo V6. 12 is Hachi Roku, Gohan 131. 45A is our pole sitter. Alright guys, watch the lights. If you are not ready, this is your last chance to hop out. Yellow flag is out. And the field gets on going. Honestly, line up diagonally is almost better than line up side to side. We are already pretty equally paced, but there is some uneven laps, so we're going to fix that one. But we're going to reread your positions. Again, starting in the back, we got the 23 as Speedits R1. Ahead of that, operating the Pepsi machine, the 57 Pepsi car, that is Steve Waters. That is, I believe, 9th place. And the lack of East 951, our current pace car driver. In the 15 plane sponsorless car, that is Eagle Man on their first ROX Mod race. Jason Dady taking up the 20 DeWalt machine. Ahead of him in the 6th place spot, T7 Jake. In the LF8 powered Screaming 27 car. There's not in the 45 Tyson car running a Honda HSV engine. I'm gonna jump out of the way. Harris is gonna be starting us up. I believe in 5th place. 4th place is the 95 operated by Nikolaus. We're gonna go 60 once we reach the bottom of the hill. Try not to stop here, as you will get into a lot of trouble. Now onto the podium, Twin Turbo V6 in the 32 car. That's the first on the podium. The 12 operating currently a non-GGS car, but racing for GGS is Gohan 131. Our poster is JCOLMT. Changing all laps to -1, and we are clearing the board. Let's roll down to 60, maintain order, do not pass the card until you cross the start-finish line. We're going to need Steve Waters to move up here. East 951, if you could get out of the way, just go as fast as you can. Everyone else, your job is to go 60 miles an hour. Twin Turbo V6, back off Gohan. Doesn't hurt to be a little bit spread out. We're going to make our way over to the front straight. And watch the lights. Green flag on the racetrack. A jump for Aris Netta. Jairus give up that spot to Nico. Air's clear. No other jumps to call. And we are out here racing the ROX Mods at Track Loans, a 30-lap feature. I'm going to change all your cuts real quickly. Even if you had one, we'll be a little lenient there. JCOLMT off to an early lead. Gohan 131 right behind. Nikolaus under attack by Twin Turbo V6. He got him at the start there. So Nikolaus has moved up, but our leader JCOLMT having some sort of issue, but so is Nico going all the way around. He locked up his brakes into the chicane. That'll lose him, and he'll fall back to the 5th place, I think 6th place spot now. The LFA holding off the Toyota So we got two Toyota powered cars there. Oh, but Nico's going to slap the wall for turn 1. I think twin turbo V6 has gone around. He is stuck on the sausage curbs. The top car, his race is turned around for the worse. And he's going to have to make his way up through the field. This is a turn of events. As long as everyone else holds their consistency and gets out of trouble, it's going to be a tough one for Twin to get back up to. So far, the top 3 have solidified their positioning. So we'll watch what's going on behind them. So Twin Turbo V6 has made its way past Jason Dady. He's back up a couple spots. And he's got 2 more to pass up here. They're fighting each other. That's T7 Jake as well as Nico. I think Nico might have spun himself out. No, he's not. Yes, he has. He's done about the same thing that Twin did. You want to be very careful. The car gets unweighted right as you get up on top of the hill. So we're going to watch to see what's going on. Gohan 131 closing in the gap for the lead between himself and the 45A. It's going to be a bit of a hop over the sausage curb. Guram is having a lot of lag. Will he come back from it though? Yeah, he does. Twin Turbo V6 now closing in on the 27 car. And he gets it done. Looks like Gohan has made some mistake, a very minor one at that. He's only lost a couple tenths out of it. Probably a minor wall clip or something to the lights. Could have gotten loose at a curb. But that being said, our top 3 is about to spread here. So that puts Twin Turbo V6 back into the 4th place position. His closest rival in the championship, currently leading the race. He also has just gone the fastest time so far in the race, 46.867. Twin's gonna go around again. Patience is very much so key on this track, but Twin, de-weighted himself, he is fallen off. Make sure that there's no tomfoolery. We look like we're good. What a turn of events for Twin Turbo V6. Nico Alt is panicking. There is a roach in his room. He is in the pits, dealing with it actively. That is a very unfortunate deal for Nico Alt. It's actually Speedy XR1 is past a car. That is Eagle Man. They're about to get closed in by our leaders. They make their way out of the hairpin. So I might have explained Nico's frantic movements, as Guram has another significant lag spike. Of course, the Australian is not unfamiliar to these conditions. He will teleport back in front, get into hyperdrive, and gets back to the lead. The 15 car gets loose, nearly spinning out, but he's going to get past. That is Eagle Man, the current car in 9th place. There's Netta closing in that gap between herself and the 12 car. She's revolutionized a drifting technique that pretty much only she does on the hairpin, but it did work pretty well for her in the Formula Micro race. Oh, Guram going around! Guram goes around on the chicane, loses it, most likely hit the death curb. That round curb on the inside is brutal. He's lost his lead. That's not what he's going to want if he wants to chance a championship here. There's a lot of races left. Oh, there goes Steve Waters around. I don't think we've ever seen Steve have any significant issues. That's the first time I think I've seen Steve spin out. So if Steve is spinning, that shows you the scale of how difficult this race is. A twin has moved back to the 4th place spot. So he's somewhat in contention. He's a little bit far back though. But however, that being said, Gohan 131 leading us off as there is Speedy Etzer 1 biking it on the round curb there. It's not really that's not really a thing you want to hit from what I've seen and what I've learned over the years. It's a bit of a deterrent from cutting. I've seen it flip people before in the Super Indies. I've seen it happen to Oceana in the IMRP race. A very tough corner and basically serves like a death ball. Arizona closing the gap to 2nd place here as we make our way down the hill. Here's going to try the drift technique. I don't know if it really works too much for her this time around. Now, mind you, this race does also use overtime rules. We haven't seen an overtime restart in the ROX Mods in a very long time, but it's not an impossibility for future reference if it ever does happen. We got a good ways till any of that can happen. I don't think any of these leaders want such a circumstance. There's Speedy around, or sorry, there's Jason around. He'll be put a lap down now. .45A closing in on Gohan 131. Through the hairpin is only about a car length or 2 behind. Again, Guillermo is probably the faster driver of the two, although Gohan was very fast. He's historically been very fast on these ROX Mod road course races. Now, one thing we've also seen a trend of is Arizona gaining top 3s. Oh, Gohan going around! He does not take that turn how he should. Goes off. He's going to lose the lead. He goes back to 3rd. Harrison 2nd. I was about to say that Aris has had a chain of 3rd place finishes throughout the day. That trend might continue, but I don't know. Harrison is side by side with Gohan 131 down the back straight. There's our leader, Guillermo FX2, a crossover move between the 12 and the 45. So far, the front has had some good racing. Arizona picking down the inside, the flaming 12 right behind. Looking on a higher line through the carousel. It's going to carry a little bit more speed into the next turn. Arizona scrubbing out the wall, I think a little bit, but not a bad line overall. The two side by side as they make their way down the hill. It's all about the shifting here. So we're starting to close in on the halfway point of the race. Aris is going to go off for a little bit, just a little bit offline. Not a bad line necessarily. But she has lost position out of the deal. Gohan now holding up the 2nd place spot. Now, one thing to know is Twin Turbo V6 is how is Twin doing here? "16 seconds off, so I don't know if he has the pace to hold up here against the top 3. There's closing down, looking at the rear bumper of the 12 car. Another drift for her as she now goes down the hill. Gohan 131 with a very aggressive 45 car right behind him. So as we're here, I guess we might as well talk about what's coming up in the future. We are closing in on a time change, so this is the last race before daylight saving times end, if I recall correctly, or starts. I'm not sure if it starts or ends, but one of the two is going to be happening. The races are by time. If you're not in America or a place that has a time zone change tomorrow, expect races to take about an hour later. That might be a problem for the future for Ayers, but for now, that's not on our mind. On our mind is, of course, the second place spot, the 12 car, as well as the lap car. That is Steve Waters, currently 9th place. And Nico Wilds still not have left his pit boss, so I believe that might be potentially a DNF for him. Cause a DNF cockroach in room. We'll make sure to list that one up on the post-race results. You can see Twin in the background. He's not catching up, so something is off for Twin. Probably not used to the cars, making mistakes, one of the two. But meanwhile, the battle for second place starting to spark up again. Ayers Netta looked at the rear bumper there of the 12 car. As Gearmethod's 2 internet continues to be sketchy, the two, however, fighting side by side for second place. A better exit for the 12 car, but how about Ayers? Attacking the rear bumper as much as they can, putting pressure. As there is a crossover for position, and there's a car down the inside. That is the Eagle Man. So we are through the halfway point of today's race. The last feature. Sun is starting to set. It's another thing I'm starting to notice. So it might start to get a little bit dark as the race progresses. There's Jason. Jason getting loose and into the barrier is hard. No damage physics, so he'll keep on rolling. But that was a pretty big impact for the 20 machine. Gohan 131 slapping the outside wall. Ayers Netta will slide on through into second place. The LFA powered 27 machine starting to get closed in on by the other Screamer in the field. As Jason says C. What is the caution necessary for? You don't look stuck. I don't know what happened to Jason. We're going to keep it going as it is. A 3-car battle for the lead. So off screen for the 45A made some mistake. Here he is, 3 cars for the lead. The Screaming LFA about to get put a lap down by the Honda HSV powered 45. The 45A also in the midst, as well as the 12. 3 cars fighting it out. So we make our way down the hill. And surprisingly, out of all this, somehow Speedy is in sits. We're going to check the logs, make sure that there's no foul play. No foul play at all. Speedettes are one with a pretty good race, actually. Sits place. As Ayers Netta currently leading the Grand Prix. This is a 30-lap feature as we got just, I believe, 12 more laps to go. T7 Jake with the best view of the house. As there's a 45A side by side with Ayers Netta for the lead. He'll make the pass, but Ayers Netta, this is her corner usually. Getting a slightly better exit, I think, than the 45A. He's gonna, Garam's gonna have the lag spike. He'll teleport behind, but gets slingshotted back up front. Just a little bit of a lag spike there. And Garam FX2 is off to lead another lap. Our top 3 all within a second of each other. Really, it is anyone's race at this current time, as next lap we'll see 10 to go. 3 of them were all very competitive on the oval, and it looks like that trend is continuing right now. So that 45A car, Ayers Netta's going to do a drift. The 45A, he's been going back and forth, made some sort of mistake, but he's still back up in the front. But here's Ayers with a good-looking exit. Closes down the gap to just about a car length. 45A is going to take a very aggressive run through the curbs. Again, it's almost like a multi-groove racetrack.
So, Speedy, I don't give a fuck if you're in 6th. If you cut that again, I'm parking you.
See cutting the final turn?
Yep.
Alright, when you can't send a clip. So, Speedy driving is under review. Again, do not cut the final turn. Penalty will be an automatic 10-second time penalty.
I'm just gonna go sit there and watch it.
Alright, that's appreciated. GearMFX2 is trying to extend his lead a little bit, but only by a little bit. Really not a lot. Still has a lot of pressure right behind him as there's the 12 and the 45 side by side for second place. GearMFX2 teleporting back in front to clock another lap down. There's Netta topping the outside wall of turn 1. The 12 will slide on by. Again, for corner cuts, everyone seems to be good. The only one really at any short sign of a risk is Speedy SR1 or GearMFX2, which are about halfway there, so not too bad anyways. Arisnetta again drifts through the hairpin, gets better at it than Gohan. Well, that looks like a bit of an unorthodox line for GearMFX2. Not that bad though. But it almost looks like the two behind him are really starting to close in. A lot of pressure just for everyone here. Arisnetta side by side with the 12. It looks like by Twins laps, he is matching their pace, so anything late in the race could really stir things up. Just made a couple big mistakes that cost him early on. Arisnetta with a great exit off of turn 1, closing on the 45A. 45A goes on a little bit of grass. Not exactly to his greatest benefit. Here comes Eris. Closes down the gap to just a bit under a car length. So we're going through the carriage cell here. Now down through the hairpin. Arisnetta looking to make a move. She's going to cut through the chicane, loses a lot of time. That curb cost her a little bit. So here's Nikolot's back on track. His survival story today. He's not giving up. He's dealt with the cockroach. But he's going to have to deal with a 20 lap down. We'll deal with it though. I don't believe there's enough laps or cautions for Nico to get back up there, but it looks like he'll just be going here for the fuck it factor. And I respect that sort of power. Top 3 a little bit spread out. That looks like a bit of a rough turn for GearMFX2. Eris gains a little bit onto the final corner as Giram's car's not moving. He'll shoot back in front of her. Oh, GearMFX2 off the track. Eris nutted down the inside, side by side, once again for the lead. But Eris is going to make the move that makes it. We are 5 laps to go here at Track Loans. But Eris hops out, yellow flag. And Eris choking her own race, hopping out of her own car. And we'll make sure there's no foul play in that. The race back happening now, so we're going to have a race back. And it goes to GearMFX2, Gohan. And that's going to stir things up, so we have the caution out. We're going to make sure there's no foul play. Okay. Just trying to get the hill. It's going to be a bit hard here. You're going to watch the laps. Lap cars can get their laps back. And there's... Yes, well, we get one lap back. So we might be going into an overtime period. So lap cars can pass the leaders. That's for T7 Jake. Speed at R1, everyone. Get one lap back. Just try not to crash yourselves while you're at it. Now, one car at risk of a penalty, 3 away. Speed at R1. So lap cars can get their lap back. Please push hard through. We're going to have the following order. The 45A in first. The 12 in second. The third will be twin. Airs will be the cause of caution for hopping out of the car. It's going to be an interesting restart because our top 4 airs cutting through there. Come on, dude. Please don't cut the final turn. I'm not changing the cuts for you if you do that. So if you end up getting a penalty eventually, that's going to be on you. Order is going to be Gearm FX2, Gohan, Twin Turbo V6, Aris Netta, TCM Jake's back on the lead lap. Everyone else can get one lap back. So we need Speed SR1 to pass everyone. And get back going. We're going to do overtime, so one extra lap here. We'll be going green on lap 29, regardless if you guys are caught up or not. So that is your time to get moving on the grooving. We have 5 cars back on the lead lap. Jake just needs to make his way up, so... as time by, the lights are going black. We're gonna go green this lap. I said before that we're not gonna wait for anyone, whether or not you guys have caught up. So it's gonna be your duties to catch up. So we are 1 from going green out here on the track. 4, 5 cars in contention. Jake just needs to catch up here. You could pass the 15. You are restarting from 5th. We'll be going 60 once we're at the bottom of the hill. The pace car is going to just get off. Out of the way. So 60 here, guys. This is going to be an interesting way for the race to end. We make our way up to the final turn. Watch those lights. We're green on the racetrack. A good start for Gohan, but greater start for Twin. Very close. Arizona also in the midst. Oh, Gearim with a bad exit. Gohan to the lead. The green flag is in the air. Things were going great for Gearim. They have turned around, but he's got still a chance to be in the fight, but he's going to have to go as hard as he can here. So does Twin. Nikolaus hard into the barrier, but we're going to keep it going. Now, into the hairpin we go. This is a battle for the lead. It's all cooked up here. Gearim FX2 to second place. Arisnetta to third. Here's Twin. Twin down the inside. 3 wide for the second place position. Gearim FX2 looking closer to the 12 car. As we make our way to the final turn. 1 more lap to go. The white flag in the air. And here's where all the pressure is built up to. Gohan, Aris, and Gearim. Aris is going to go off the track. Oh, does she? She does. And all is falling off for her. She might be out of contention. She might be at risk of losing 4th. There's Jake. We're going to go up in the front. Gohan is our current leader, but Gearim is right behind him, his teammate from DGS. If he wants a chance at the podium, he's got to pass him with every opportunity he has. to get as many points behind the guy right behind him, twin triple V6. We make our way through the chicane. Gear MFX2. Does he have what it takes? He's right there behind Gohan. Here we are in the final turn. It's all or nothing. And it goes to Gohan. Gear MFX2 the second place. We'll see who got third there. What an intense finish this has been. We're going to watch the board. And it was all for Guillermo. Lost at the last couple laps. Steve Waters is going to cross into 7th. There's Speedy at R1, his teammate Jason Dady. They make their way around the final turn. So we're going to read off your order. And we'll get to your podium. Let me get it up. So let's see what happened. Finishing order is Gohan, Guillermo FX2, Twin Turbo V6, Eris in 4th. 5th is T7 Jake. 6th is Speedy at R1. Steve Waters in 7th, Jason to 8th. Eagleman 9th, and Nico in 10th. Alright. We are going to teleport our top 3 to the podium. This is DJS 1 and 2. So hopefully we'll get an interview out of everyone here. We will be playing the American National Anthem in celebration. So I know it might be frustrating to lose out on that 500 gear, but there's many more coming. Now let's get the Star Spangled Banner out once again in celebration of our winner Gohan 131. Let me get the, oh. We've heard that song enough today. It's supposed to be copying, 1 second. There we go. An awesome podium here. And a fantastic race finish. Not the way we were expecting it to. There's probably going to be a couple of unhappy campers. However, Gohan gets it done, not only on the oval with the ROX Mods, but also the road course. So the most dominant driver as far as it goes in the ROX Mods this week. Oh man, so yeah. Alright, Gohan getting it done today with the ROX Mods. Not only getting the oval, but also wrapping it up and getting the road course done. What do you guys say about today's race?
Nigga, I was not dominant, bro. I don't know what you mean. I was fucking holding third like the entire race, bro. The only reason why I got first is because Eris decided to hop out. So yeah, that You know, thank you, Eris. Like actually, thank you, because I'm walking out with like I don't know how much I'm walking out with now, but yeah, that if anyone were to win, that was definitely supposed to be Giram, but shit happens. I definitely feel bad for him, but at the same time, like, you know, shit happens. You know what I mean, bro. Like shit happens. But I definitely feel bad for him. But that's a win I'm not deserving. I don't deserve that fucking win. But yeah, it was really fun either way. But I really need to work on my pace on ROX Mods on the road course, because my pace was like really not that great compared to Giram. But yeah, besides that, pretty good race. Feel bad for Giram though.
All right, Gohan. So next week we're going to the Phoenix International Raceway, PAR. It's gonna be a very fast multi-group track. What do you think is up for that one? It's 1 mile. All right. I guess we'll try to see if we'll talk to second place then. So Giram is not here. However, he's I think the only car that has, or the only driver that's got all 3 trophies. We'll be talking to Twin, sweeping the 3rd place there. Looks like things were out of your reach for a lot of the race, but things turned around last minute. What do you guys say about today's race? Let me unmute you.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that was definitely interesting at the end. I'm definitely glad Eris literally just gifted me podium spot. I feel like that might have been intentional, because honestly, jumping out of your car literally takes some sort of intentional input. 'Cause that really doesn't happen when you're so focused on just driving. But honestly, just happy I can at least get a little bit more points. But honestly, Giram still actually gets the most points of everyone, funny enough. But yeah, I mean, it's just nice to be on the podium, even though it doesn't really do anything. Yes, 25 Robux, but probably gotten like 1,000 Robux this weekend so far, so I don't think it does much. But yeah, it's just nice. I'm not really worried about points, because I think I'm like 90 plus points ahead of Giram in the championship too. So I don't even think that matters. But I guess just being on the podium is nice, considering I probably would have ended off 4th, just because I made mistakes, even though really I don't really know how I spun, because it was like the middle of the uphill. It wasn't even on the crest or anything. It was just the middle of the turn. So I don't know how I spun there. I think I just due to Roblox's physics engine being a piece of crap. But yeah, I don't really. So I literally just let off every single lap there just so I wouldn't spun. But I did lose a couple tenths on that. So that was the trade-off I had to make. But yeah. Definitely still glad to be done. Yeah, thanks, Eris.
Definitely, some people might be skeptical about the legitimacy of that, but there's nothing really to question. That might be one of the more controversial podiums, I think, but not gonna lie, not a bad one to do. Great comeback, and it just shows that sometimes it's just worth sticking to the end. So, thank you there, Twin Turbo V6. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on? Alright. Thank you there, Twin. We're going to talk to Eris here. Eris had a lot of fighting in her. Still had a good shot at the end, but just fell a little bit short. So Eris here finishing 4th place. Not a bad points result. Still had a couple other good races. And we got, I think, the one you're looking forward to tomorrow. Let me guess. Group C. So we got that to look up forwards to. However, what happened in today's race? I think you might have the most interesting POV. Oh.
I don't fucking know.
Oh my god. You've been teleported up here. So, a pretty frustrating way to finish the ROX Mod feature. You had a solid podium in the back, even shot at the win. Unfortunately, a little bit short there. I could tell by your voice you're not really happy. But there's still another good one coming up. That is, of course, Group C. If you'd like to talk about that instead, that's also cool. But what happened today?
I didn't fucking do it on purpose.
That's fine. I wouldn't believe you throw out your race like that.
I didn't even fucking do anything.
Right, there's yeah, one of the more emotional races. You can see the passion that the drivers have. It's honestly, I respect the drive for it, but unfortunately, just a little bit short. There's many more coming up again. Phoenix, Franklin County, a couple other good ones coming up. So those are some to look up in the future. Again, tomorrow with Group C, you'll be driving your other car. Would you like to talk about that?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna fuck it up anyways.
Okay. Nurse, thank you for turning out. I know this is a very frustrating way for today's race to go, but we'll let you be. We'll talk to you in a little bit. So, thank you, Harris. Still not a bad points result. We're going to talk over to, I believe, the 5th place finisher. Let's check real quickly. That is T7 Jake, the man in the LFA. A solid top 5 to finish. Again, not a bad result for GGS overall. Good job, Jake. Is there anything you want to say here? See, good, Jake. Jake, are you there? Alright. Jake is not speaking either. Probably, chatting or something. So up next, we're gonna talk to a guy with, with his usual running a top 6 for Speedy XR1, beats out his teammate Jason Dady as well as a couple other cars. So not a bad race, I think, for you, Speedy XR1. How's it going?
Good. Questionably.
Questionably. So what happened in today's race?
Some strong words by Nico himself. Practice. Practice makes perfect. And even though I almost spun a couple of times, I had a great job. I kind of been having a rough time for the past, for the whole entire season, but broke through the lag, and I wasn't really thinking about it. No, at all. I just kept going and going and going and going. I don't know. I kind of feel like I forgot most of the race. I didn't see what happened, but the drivers behind me kept messing up. I had a rough time trying to keep up with Steve in the Pepsi car. Eventually, he started slowing down and went behind, and it's just been the first time since I had a top 10 in a minute. Well, actual good racing position, and if Jake had an issue there for the next couple laps, I probably would have had a top 5. But I don't know if that would have been possible. Yeah, but also we kind of have some sad news that Jason will be retiring after the end of this season to move on to new things, and we support him at NH Motorsports in the SPD group, wherever you go next. And thank you, Jason, for like sticking with me between I think like the past like 2 years on this ride. Thank you, man. That's all I have to say.
So, bit of mixed feelings for Speedy SR1. It seems, however, we have the rest of the season to deal with, and it looks like still not a bad points result, despite the odds beating out 3 other cars today. I'd take that one, but that situation.
Hey, a win is a win is a win.
Yeah. Well, next week we go to Phoenix International Raceway. I think it's one of the tracks more in your favor, a little bit more in your avenue.
Hey, finally, I can abuse the entire oval. No limits. I can abuse the entire fucking oval to my displacement. Oh my god, I'm exhausted.
Alright, well, thank you there, Speedy SR1. Good show. We're going to talk to 7th place real quickly. That is Steve Waters. If he's here. He's not here, so we're going to see about Jason then. So Jason here, apparently announcing your retirement, but also a P8 finish to close off the day. What's going on?
Yeah, I got a P8. Pretty good for my top 10 race. But yes, you are correct. I am gonna be stepping down from the driver's seat after this season for retiring. This might be a good reason because I still do a racing league on Xbox, but I'll be watching in game or on YouTube. So yeah. Just good luck on season 5, and hopefully Speedy will find someone to take my place.
All right. Well, thank you there, Jason. Those are awesome words. Hopefully the future will be bright as we go to Phoenix. Again, another one of those tracks I think that also goes in your favor. One of those big wild card tracks, being a mountain distance.
NASCAR track of all time. Yes, Phoenix International Speedway is going to be my favorite track of all time. Hopefully I'll get a top 10 over the podium, but hopefully a podium, a top 3 would be fine.
All right. Well, thank you there, Jason. We're going to move on to talking to Nico. I think something more interesting from your POV than the race was what was going on with that cockroach.
Boy, I'll come into this race, right? No practice, no nothing. I set an okay-ish lap time, right? I doing decent. I think, right, I go have a decent race. I could possibly get first, or at least top 3, right? I was feeling, I could put in the pace maybe later on. And then, Roach, right? He appeared out of nowhere, the dark and night. Motherfucker was Batman, I tell you. This man pop up right on my fucking computer screen, and I try racing for 2 laps with him still there, staring me in my fucking eye. I staring at this bitch half the time. That's why I lock up and go off when I did, because I saw this bitch. And he just staring me down. We had to stay down for like at least half a lap, and then I was like, I ain't doing this. I pulled into the damn pit, and I had a fight with this motherfucker for about, I would have to say at least 20 laps. Me and this bitch fighting, because I then figured out this motherfucker had wings.
Nico,
I was not okay with this.
who won the fight?
Who the ass you think I'm here?
Yeah, where did you finish?
What? I lost the race, but I won the fight.
Yeah. Well, hold up. Yeah. Shh. Where did you finish the race?
And last.
Dead last. Shut the fuck up.
It sounds like that cockroach might have beat you.
I don't want to hear your blasted ass mouth anymore. Right. So, I finally found like a damn cup or something like a bowl, and then a book, a hardcover book. I catch the fucker, but that bitch was still fighting underneath there. That man was after me in the damn thing. It was looking to kill me. After all that done, I open up the door, I go outside, release the fucker, he went off into the night. Hopefully he don't come back. I forget the door open for 2 seconds. I come into my room, put everything back down, and I go back out, and I see this black mass underneath my door. My dog somehow get into my damn house, and he jump scared me from my outside the door like Five Nights at Freddy's, but I was not pleased.
Oh god.
Had to kick him out the house. Somehow he jumped the gate, and got up the stairs. But yes, that's my eventful thing before I come back to come dead last again. So there you go, my story, and fuck you.
Oh man.
Oh, Robo, there's a there's a very nice surprise waiting for you in the group chat.
Can you kill yourself?
You're just, like, I didn't even send it, bro.
I'm glad I'm not streaming. Was that Rebel that sent that?
Yeah, bro.
I'm not surprised. We're not gonna describe what it was, but let's just say let's just say it in talk.
King Rebel for the GC, bro.
Oh,
Kick Rebel for the GC, bro.
I'll be back and I'll do that in a second. Oh my god.
Yeah, Rebel's a retard, bro.
All right. Well, thank you, there, guys. Fucking hell. Jake, are you still there?
No, I don't think so. That bitch is.
All right. I don't know if Jake is there, but want to let Jake know. Thank you for
What
turning
is
out.
Speedy talking about, bro?
I don't know. But we're gonna wrap up the stream. Chaotic ROX Mods as usual. Thank you guys for turning out. This is where we close off. But again, a reminder that we got a time change for tomorrow night. We're gonna scroll down. That is what is going on today. 9 p.m. or maybe a little bit earlier. We'll be opening up the track again once everything is set up. But remember that there is a time change. We're gonna have an extra hour, so this race would probably be at 7 a.m. USPST if it happened today. We'll figure that one out with Shuffle. I'm gonna probably talk to him in a little bit. 10 a.m. we're gonna be doing the Group C showcase. I can't remember this thing. 20 laps. The BMCR feature, UF Motorsports, will be at 6 a.m. That's gonna be 2 races, a 20 lap and a 30 lap feature, running out to 50 laps. 10 a.m. we're going to be doing Group C for a 20-lap feature. At 12 p.m. we're going to be doing Time Attack. At 2 p.m. we'll be doing the Super Indies, the last one of points races for SLC. That's going to be 500 to win that one too. A 60-lap race, doubles the distance of today's. We'll go by pretty quickly and hopefully with a little bit less drama at the end. Touge Development's going to close off the event at 4 p.m. USPST. So prepare for that one. We'll be probably releasing later on tonight the schedule in full. We'll just have a little post for now. But again, thank you guys for watching. That is going to be the race today. A lot. Some happy, some sad, some terrified. And I think that's about how these races go when the ROX Mods race on the track wins the road course. Thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for tonight. See you tomorrow.